Hey, how's everybody doing today? This is Sean, and here with another video. And this video it's gonna be a different kind of video than most of my videos. I just want to have a talk with you folks out there. There's a few things going on in the social media and Twitter world and YouTube world, and it has been around. It's evolving around this war that's over in the east. And the fact of the matter is this: there is a guy named Gonzalo Lira, or however you spell it. Anyway, Coach Red Script, we used to call him, and a Red Pill, or Coach Red Pill, or whatever it is. But anyway, he was over in Ukraine, and he has a what would be very strong pro-Russian, I wouldn't say agenda, but his belief system is towards that type of thing, Russia's type of thinking over Ukraine's type of thinking because of things that he's actually witnessed over there, firsthand knowledge and that type of stuff. And keep in mind, this man is in a foreign country, and he his mortal life is in danger, just being a regular citizen over there, not being from there. So any place that you move to like that, is you're different than people. There's always times there's things of adjustment. So when this guy came about, I started following him, and I noticed a trend that was going on with this guy. He was wearing the same clothes every day. Looked like he didn't shave or shower or anything like that, and it was daily. Like every day he's wearing the same clothes, this gray shirt every day, and then he had a beard. Looked like he hadn't shaved in a little while. So I'm like, this guy looked like was captured already. So I think that what happened is since that happened, like that observation that I made by myself. I've always just watching the videos. I noticed this: the orange hat, the gray shirt every day, and sometimes he'll wear glasses and sometimes he won't. And then the beard, he's not looking like he shaved or bathed and stuff like that. And there's running water there, there's electricity there, according to his own, everything that he's telling us, because he's saying that Russia didn't knock out the grid or none of that stuff. So I started doing research on this guy, and there's this guy I came across. His name is Daka, something like that, Daka, and they got some like casino, but he's a gamer or something like that. And anyway, apparently he was a big follower of Coach Script and or Coach Red Pill. Coach Script is my friend that does football with me. Coach Red Pill, or Gonzalo Lira, or however you pronounce his name, or I think it's Lira. That's how it's spelled, Lira. So Gonzalo Lira. So I did research on this guy, and I came across that guy's channel and other people's channel that said that they got grifted out of money. And like, when I followed how far the grift went, is into tens of thousands of dollars that Gonzalo had grifted people on this book called Wilshire Boulevard. It was supposed to be a drama or action and all kinds of like political things that he's going to write about, and like just expose all these, because he's like be considered a right-wing Republican. His really extreme, though, like just like you have extremes in other party systems, but his ideologies are extreme. When you look back at some of his other work and other films or other videos he's done, and then you find out that he's not really directed much or even being a director, but he has the name as a director, and gets the credibility for that. And then also you find out that, like I said, he didn't write a book, and he was getting tens of thousands of dollars off people, telling them they're sending a book out to them. Some books are going to have special covers for an extra $1,000. You'll be the first person to get this book, and the book was never written. Okay, it was never produced. That's a fraud. Okay, But I do believe God uses people that may be bad or whatever. God uses people to expose evil, and Gonzalo was exposing a lot of evil things that these folks were doing, and I personally believe that he was captured a long time ago, and these films and videos that you're seeing, except for some of the live, stuff that was going on with these talk show hosts of recent times, but some of the stuff don't make sense. They're wearing the same clothes every day, not shaving, not lighting a cigarette because you don't want to tip off your position. There's a lot of factors. You have to look at the background, and he's very. See, what the thing about him is, he has patterns of a sociopathic behavior because he is self-centered, and he cares about himself, and he's arrogant, and have a very obtuse attitude towards the situation where he's put himself at. So these things are going on if he got captured, which there's a high probability, which I say this has happened a while back, in my opinion, but he would be in extreme danger of things like biblical, like what they would do to this guy would be medieval type shit, okay, like hostile stuff that they did in the movies, that type of shit, because of the shit he was saying about these people. No money in the world is worth risking your life, and when you do journalism, you have to watch the levels of exposure that you're going to be able to do at that particular time in the field, because you're in a foreign area and they can catch you. So I think that this is part of, I don't want to say a psyop, but the guy's a grifter, okay? And I don't know, you can't trust a grifter. We don't know if he's actually working, if he's working for for people to get people pissed off at Ukraine, and get Russia's side also, and this could be a fake kidnapping. You don't know the possibilities. You just can't assume that the neo-Nazis got him, because if they did, he's finished, okay? Or he's working with them, and they're all working together to grift each other, to get people to fight against each other, because you're picking a side, because now you're emotionally attached to this guy, because you're like, hey, man, that's my boy. This fucking, these people got my boy, and they can't get away with that. So then you know what you're doing. You're reinforcing a war. We don't know what happened. I do believe in due process. I mean, if these criminals, and if it's against the law for him to say these things that he said in that country, then he should go through the proper, criminal procedures, not just having people snatch you out of houses without due process. Even this fucked up country has due process, and we're working on a lot of things. We'll get better. It just has to expose itself. So, as your friend and guy that just observes this stuff, you gotta watch following these people. You gotta watch getting yourself in. People are just, that's what's going on now. Nobody's done any damn research, so they don't know what's going on, why this stuff is going on in these particular regions. And they're taking some person's word for it that obviously worked at, he even said that he was, worked for Hollywood, So if he worked for Hollywood, dude, he can write, this could be a script he wrote. Like a fucking movie he's making with these people to grift you. He's already grifted you out of money, out of a book, okay? You can't trust a thief or a liar. So, I see all these big channels, and I'm surprised, like Justin Jackson and Jackson's show, the Daily Report guy. I mean, these solid people that are, solid intellectualism, and they're not questioning any of the shit that this guy's doing. You're talking about being a journalist, and you're saying how CNN don't do that. Well, you're doing the same thing. You're just bringing anybody on your show, not knowing who they are, no background on them, no kind of, shit that's going on behind them, and then you're taking their word for what they're seeing over there, which you aren't seeing. You're hearing a story that's being woven and told, no matter what the case might be, no matter how many truths are in it. You can't just blame one person. It's redirection. The whole system is broken. Don't anybody understand that? That's why these wars take place and stuff, because you have a broken system throughout the world. It's all broken. And one of the main problems is, to be honest with you, and every rich person can agree with me, and every poor person can agree with me. We'll all agree on this one thing in the world, that is, um, we're being put through economical terrorism. These people tax the shit out of people's wages that they work for. You know, people build companies and stuff. They're entitled to have their money just like anybody else that's entitled to have their money when you're working with your hands to make a living. Government shouldn't be taxing you on those things. You should tax on goods, reasonable taxes on goods, and state to it's taxed to help build roads if they're going to be used. The money all needs to be accounted for, and it has to be, things have to be fixed with the money. School systems, all that. There should be no politics in school. It isn't about that. How to fix school is to actually make school part of as a trade school. You go to school, by the time you're in 6th or 7th grade, the things that you like to do, you start talking to counselors about, and you start, learning about that subject, and learn read and arithmetic and history, things like that, psychology, all the things that are pertinent to the survival, and religion. Whatever religion you want to do, that you do that. If you don't want to do no religion, don't have to. But these are things that people have to understand, why there's wars that go on. You have to have a theology class and explain, hey, we don't care who you believe in, and this is what we're teaching here, because there's wars that are being broken out over this. Okay? And I am a follower of Jesus Christ, but God says he's coming down to judgment times. He didn't say that Sean Michael Sweeney was coming down there to do judgment times on people. He said he was going to do that. So that's good, because I'm not good at judging on people. I get tricked all the time on these grifters on YouTube. I got to catch myself. I was like, whoa, we got to do, hey, Sean. See, the way I look at stuff is, once you've eliminated the impossible, however improbable the scenario is going to be, is more likely the answer to your question. You have to use empirical thinking, discernment. Like being I don't believe in the word Christian, because that's another thing. The word Christian really was meant for to be able to tax people. The Roman people put that on us. We're followers of Yeshua, or Jesus Christ. Not de Dios estos Christus, my friends. God loves us. But the fact of the matter is, you gotta watch who you're following with these folks on there. They'll trick you, and they'll get you to think a certain way to get to. You want to be neutral. We don't want Russia doing that to Ukraine, and we don't want Ukraine doing that to the people over in the east part. Just stop it. It's really that easy. Can you just say, go, like, somebody gotta be adult in the room and talk to both fellas from both countries and say, okay, just stop this. Just stop. Both. Just stop. Stop doing that, and he'll stop doing this, and that's over. Let's go watch a movie now. It's pretty easy to fix. Just stop doing it. You don't have anybody out there with guns to shoot anybody with. There ain't gonna be no war. And I don't know. There has to be smarter. There are smarter ways to do things. It's not really. They're not that good at it, dude. They're just not that good at it. They're just causing. They're not good at making that kind of thing believable. Like, they can't make the general public now, anybody that's watching any of this stuff, they can't make it believable. Like, they're like, people have seen this show before. Been through this for the last 30 years with different presidents and stuff. The same plot, different actors. And it's the same thing that they do, and it's genius. I think it's genius. I think they're very highly intelligent people that are in control of world governments and stuff. It's amazing. If you just let people live their lives in harmony with each other without having any kinds of problems like that, it would be a much happier, nicer planet. Earth would be a nice planet, Or Earth isn't planet, Earth is Earth. But there's no leaving. Okay, there's a firmament. That's why they're trying to shoot into space, to crack the firmament. There's no leaving this place, dude. That's my opinion. I read the Bible. It says in the King James Version in Genesis that there's a firmament to divide the waters from above and the waters below. But that's not what this topic is. The topic is I'm just really concerned that all these people are being duped by this Gonzalo fella. Because I smell it, dude. There's just something don't sound right. Either way, okay, let's say hypothetically speaking, that this is just a fucking staged a fraud, because he's already been known to be a fraud. So he goes and says, I got all this fucking camera equipment, man, I can come over here and, get this grift going on where I can talk shit about these people, but they're gonna know I'm doing this, and we're all gonna make money to get off this documentary, and we're gonna get each other I'm gonna help, add a little more gasoline to this fire. That's what he's doing, intentionally or unintentionally. You have to do this shit like Patrick Lancaster when he's over there. You can get involved in whose side you're on. You're asking questions, and you just go right to the people. And I don't speak that language. I don't know. They could be crisis actors. Who knows? But it's trickery. That shit's more believable to me than that shit that I'm hearing from coming out of this guy's mouth. Because I know, our military is. They would find somebody pretty fast if they were doing something to that magnitude, trying to affect a war like that. It's just the way it is. The fella put himself in that position for a few different you can't just look at one thing like he's just doing doing it because he wants to do it. He's even told you before he started his other channel, because of my ego, I'd like to get up to 100,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. And I heard that the first time. I was like, okay, I know what I'm dealing with. I'm just going to look over his arrogantness and just pick out what I think to be the truth or not. And through my process of elimination and the process of due thinking and diligent research, I've come to the conclusion I don't trust him or any of these people that are talking over there. I'm not there. I'm not going over there to help anybody do anything. I'll help them. I'll heal them. I'm pretty decent in medical. I'll do my best. I know a little bit about stuff. I can sew people up if I have to. I'm 50 years old, man. I ain't moving too fast, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I know what you, as an older person, like in my 30s, I would jump off, I'd be like, wow, man, this is crazy, dude. Can't believe this is going on, man. We gotta do something. As I get older, I take a step back and I'm like, wait, this is something more to this. It's like playing chess, and then when you start playing chess with your favorite player, or for like one of your people that you do play chess with, and you play against them, and they always have the same opening move pretty much, because they're just like playing it. They're not trying to do, like, they're trying to win, but they're just predictable. So they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. They'll bring out their bishops and try to take out your castles, or or bring out their knights and try to so you can move your pawn out of the way so they can try to slide the queen over in the oldest move and put you in check. But they don't think it out. It's not checkmate, and you expose your queen. There's little things that continuously repeat itself. If you do that every time, that's what's going to happen every time. Having a cigarette outside. It's windy in Florida right now. We went to the baseball game tonight too, but I just wanted to just say, I'm out here having a cigarette. I was going through the Twitter, checking things out on YouTube a little bit, and getting ready to post my baseball video that I had today. We went to South Daytona, Targus, or however to say the word. I'm a little tired tonight, but anyway. They're good. They won 4-0. They scored 3 runs on errors that were committed by the Pirates. We have a really bad catcher in that position down here. The fella, at one time, the guy hit the ball, and it was a fair ball, So he's standing there as the catcher, like 3 or 4 seconds go by till he figures out that it's a fair ball. There was already a guy on second base, so he's wheeling around knowing that this dude don't know what he's doing. So he picks the ball up, overthrows first base, and the dude that was on second base was already heading towards third, so he just ran in. It was insane. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm in the Cincinnati Reds Daytona Beach now, so I'm a Pirates fan, and I won't wear my Pittsburgh Pirates stuff, but it's like, wow, we got problems in our minors right now, so hopefully the majors will treat us better this year. So it was a fun game. But the thing about what I'm saying is to just watch these folks that you're following. You don't know these people at all. 100% you don't know them. And then when you start looking into them, they do such big grifting that they don't even care if people know about it. You know, they're like, whatever. Yeah, I got a book that I'm not gonna write. How the fuck can you do that? I mean, really. I'm writing a book. Oh, what's the book about? Yeah, that's what it's about. That makes the things the hum did do. What the fuck are you talking about? You can't even go there with these kind of things. Like how the level of thinking to grift somebody at that level where you're going to tell people, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, who knows how many books that were sold that weren't written. So I'm going to leave with this. No matter what crimes he's done, I don't care what crimes he's done, the man should not be no person, no man, woman, nobody. You don't care what you assign yourself as a person, human being, whatever. Nobody should be tortured and arrested just for speaking. One, you can't be for speaking. Words do not kill people. People kill people by hitting each other and doing crazy stuff. You can say all the words you want to. They're not going to kill anybody. The fact of the matter is, the actions, the physical confrontations that come because of words, and the censor. When you try to censor stuff, you make it worse. You have to let people expose themselves, and the only way they can expose themselves is by letting them talk and tell you what they're doing. The man was wearing the same clothes. It just none of this none of this makes sense. Dude. It's scripted, just like the NFL. People never believe the NFL is scripted and rigged. It is. NASCAR is. Hockey is. It's all. You're dealing with Luciferian Jesuits. That's what these people are. And it's club. Sorry. And we're not going to be part of that because we're going to be part of what God's plan is. And He's got plans for them. That's what you're dealing with, deception. And then you see through it, and it's like, okay, you're pretty clever. You're a very clever person, or whatever you are. But I see through that because God has opened my eyes for me for me to see that, and others will have their eyes open too. Because violence begets violence. That's why Jesus says, "Those who live by the sword die by the sword." The pen is mightier than the sword, they say. And the reason being is because if you think about what happens when you write, when most people are sitting down with a piece of paper and a pen, pencil, whatever, and you have to sit there and write down how you think and what you think is going on and put that into words, and that gives you time to not use violence because you're being creativity. Your creativity is taking over that primal part of your existence. Your fight and flight, primal thinking. That's just my theory. I'm not a doctor or nothing. I've studied a lot of psychology, but it comes to all the psychologies that are mixed, they're separate, are all one. Psychology is all of. That's how you have to look at psychology. It's all of one thing. Everything that they're saying, it all makes who you are. How you perceive things is what it is. Your perception. The fact of the matter is, when you start getting involved with people that you don't know, and they have these personality traits already that are already in place, and they're tipping you off, You know, little things like I want 100,000 subscribers on this channel, and then, you know, referring to a person that's gone missing to set up the scenario for them to go missing, you know, and then telling you, hey, if I do this, something doesn't happen to me by this time, then you know something's like that. What I would have done is, if you're really in a situation like that, which I would never put myself in the situation, but I would say this is what's going to happen. If anything happens to me, I will know the internet will be released. There'll be so much information released on the internet, you won't be able to obtain it. So, but you shouldn't do that, like at that level, what he's doing, because you don't know, like we don't know exactly what's going on over there. I have a pretty good idea what's going on just because of military might. You know, the Russian army is military is nothing to fuck around with. They're a handful. For fuck's sakes, dude, Napoleon lost his leadership because of the Russians. They burnt their own city down, dude, so that asshole couldn't get it. You know what I mean? And the French people, the soldiers were so hungry they were eating their own fucking horses, dude. That's what the Russians did to them. It's not. They're hardy people. They've been fighting for a long time, and the Ukraine people too, because they're all part of that region. They're tough people. God bless them. I like both people. I have friends of mine that, when I cook, I met people from all around the world. Some of the nicest people. It's not their fault. Anybody will believe, once you believe something that you think that's right, you'll fight for it, but in the end you got to do more research on what you believe is right and what's wrong, because the only research really is you know, when you read the Bible, it's straight to the point. King James is right to the point. There's no mistakes about what's good and bad. So anytime you have a dilemma to find out what you think is good and bad, read the Bible, King James Version, and you'll find out fast what's good and bad. And it's good that you know, so you can make decisions based on that. These people are grifters. They've been doing this shit for a long time, and you have to watch them. And I've been talking for a minute, so I just wanted to share this with you. Hey, you don't have to listen to me, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be right about this. This is a giant grift, and there's gonna be millions, hundreds of millions of dollars made off of this. Hundreds of millions. They'll make a movie about it and everything else. They probably already did. They already got the movie going. This is Hollywood. These people are fucking actors, man. You guys gotta wake up to this shit. None of the stuff you see on TV is real. Most of the people on YouTube are full of shit and fake people and shills. Or just, you know, there's very rare people on here that doesn't try to get anything off anybody. My channel's not monetized. You can go ahead and check that out. You can do all the checking you want. It's never been monetized. I don't monetize my channel. When I do monetize my channel, if I ever do that in the future, which I don't think I am, it'll be worth somebody, you know. I'll make it a lot nicer than I'm doing now. I'll have a nice studio and shit and do things correctly, but I'll be doing that because I want to. But I don't have time for that. Plus, I don't want to lose my sincerities. I want to be who I am, and you know, share my times with you guys. So, and my insight on what I can help you with. So, just be careful who you follow, and you know, listening to about any kind of big information. No matter what you see on TV, you have to fucking turn the emotions off and make sure that it's legit. And don't share shit that's not legit yet. Don't be that person. I love you. Take care of yourselves. I appreciate your time, and thank you. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be doing some baseball videos in a minute here. So I'm dropping those off, and then do this video first, and then baseball. Good night.